And welcome once again, everybody. We are back for another stellar week of we got news this week, so we don't have to scrape the bottom of the barrel. No, Mitch, if it was last week, we had nothing. We would have had it would have been just us sitting here for an hour being like, so what do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about the end times.
Yes. Those are upon us as well. Yeah. How could I forget? It's only been like a week or something. I don't know. Oh man. What a time to be alive. But hey, speaking of times to be alive, you guys can of course enjoy this show here now, which comes at you in video format, right? Yeah, people are used to that. I will say I did gather up some comments, but what we're going to do is saving comments for next week because we're going to do 2 episodes back to back to cover you guys for Thanksgiving, since we don't want to do a podcast on Thanksgiving or the day after it. So
you got a ton of stuff to do for leading up to Thanksgiving. So
and Tristan and I will be recording in advance 2 gaming podcasts as well, so stay tuned for that. But of course, before we get to this here show, 2 bonus topics will be available for you guys: the Punisher revival and some Eternals and Inhumans MCU future talk. So look forward to those. Speaking Mitch's language here. Art, yes. And outside of that, let's of course introduce ourselves. So I'm available right here. Right at the top of that is Blue Sky. If you haven't joined Blue Sky yet, do it. Everybody's jumping ship. It's like exploded to the #1 app on the App Store. I'm on there. I've already interacted with a few fans that have joined, and everybody seems to be reluctant to leave Twitter, but it's better. Leave Twitter.
Oddly enough,
you said people are leaving Twitter.
Especially I think like today and tomorrow, especially for the artists, because of Elon Musk's I think new initiative for AI, to where it automatically scrapes everything from your account and it trains the AI for whatever it is.
That's why everyone's posting that Musk Ghislaine Maxwell picture again.
I saw this meme, and it was like Swifties, AEW fans, Marvel fans, Star Wars fans, Twitter's left behind. They're just all charging towards Blue Sky, which is like the portal from the MCU. I was like, that's so perfect. It's so perfect.
Don't everyone jump over at once because the servers aren't coping.
Invalid user.
I found out why. It was actually kind of weird. Apparently, from what they said, it's not on their end for some reason. I think there's some of their service providers, their ether cords got cut for some reason. So.
Oh man!
I think that was the second one. The first one was just like too many people jumping over at once. No. I think in the last 90 days they've gone to like 11 million extra people on there.
My God, it was a massive exodus, which is good. You know, it's good. Shake up the system, give us a good alternative, and the best thing is the community lists. So like, I'm part of like the wrestling community. Talk about wrestling. They took all the people from Twitter, and the moment they joined, they add them to a list you can subscribe to, and they're essentially the bad people, and your account just auto blocks them. So you don't even know if you're subscribed to the list, you'll never see them post. I was like, this is genius. This is what's needed in the in the space. So
it's good. It's all open source, right? It's kind of like an Android version. Twitter,
you can actually like write your own code and stuff for it too. It's pretty interesting. I've seen people do some stuff. So everybody join us all on Blue Sky, but of course, you can join me over there, but you can also join Mitch over here.
You can join me right there. Yeah. Find the Mitch 692 channel. No.
See, for you, it shows it that way, but for me, it shows that you're pointing the wrong direction on the screen.
It's never there. I never understand it because the last time me and Jared recorded, I was pointing the right direction. But the times before that, I had to point that way. It's just like, well, what's going on?
That's because Jared's StreamYard is broken by and Boar. He can't handle it.
True.
Can't handle it.
I told you you let me go 4 hours without saying anything bad about it.
It's true.
30 minutes later, it's just like, it's like, see?
And of course, we always have Tristan on hand as well to help us discuss things.
The link tree is there. I also have a Blue Sky and a bunch of other stuff, and the YouTube that's coming out with some more videos within the next couple of days. I did get catched up with the TMNT from IDW. Was issue 2 just the review just got out yesterday, so
nice. That should pop off on the channel at some point, but the YouTube's doing more changes. I don't know what they're implementing now, but it's been a little
did you get the did you get the email for it?
Maybe
now they're going to try and do something with the AI algorithm to where it gives the person a preview of what the video entails, so they have the option to watch the video
like they already do.
No, for some reason it just says that it's just going to give you an option to do it for like the preview. You have the option to opt into it. I haven't opted into it yet, but it didn't really seem like it's any kind of new. It's just a different format to it for some reason.
Idiotic.
Yeah,
as expected.
Like, what's that AI thing that gives you a run? The text messages.
Yeah.
The AI preview of it, like.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just some weird format to it. It's not really any different from the last one. And it gave like, so you sent the message to me and it says you can opt into it if you want. I'm like, it's not really any different from the last one. So I don't know.
So yeah, what's the point exactly?
So you already autoplay the video. Like, why do you need preview? No.
Right.
Yeah.
That's Google for you, though.
Boggles the mind, but hey, that's business, I guess. So so without further ado, some people will ask, where's Ricardo? He saw the Rotten Tomatoes score and The Rock, what he was saying about Red One, and couldn't be here because he would be embarrassed for The Rock. So
yeah, hopefully that thing that he said is not true, because
The Rock,
where he went to a theater set where where directors sat and said, "This is what Red One really needs."
Yeah. It needs to be viewed the same way you watch Oppenheimer.
Mm-hmm. Imagine finding out what IMAX is in 2024. No. This man's never seen an IMAX movie in his life. No.
I mean, he's probably only seen movies privately screened at like the warehouse that the studio's in or his own private theater.
Yeah.
You know? Maybe now he's going to start asking people to donate money to theaters just like Hawaii.
Yeah, and then like I think is tracking for like 39 million. So yeah, he's not gonna
tracking for that, but it ain't gonna make that. Let's be real.
No.
It's
it will come under.
Yeah,
Jerry said he's gonna go watch it, and I'm like, yeah, you're part of the problem.
Of course he is.
You're part of the problem.
This is the man who's out here talking about how Wild Wild West is the greatest movie of all time. So I suspect that from Jared.
I mean, he did walk out of Joker 2 and have said this has the sauce. So
I want the sauce he was on to watch Joker 2 and say it has the sauce. So, Jared, let me know who's dealing, and he's
on that Alex Jones sauce.
Alex Jones sauce. Actually, hold up, that's perfect because I got this. Somebody sent it to me because the news about Alex Jones being bought out by The Onion.
Yeah, all this stuff is going to auction.
Love it. The greatest remix of all time. Oh, man.
Beautiful.
Well, I figure before the show deteriorates anymore, should we just get into the actual topics?
I guess.
Yeah, let's get at it. We wasted 8 minutes of your time already, so let's get into the opening of the show. And I will hand the first topic off to Mitch since he is the one that added it to the show. So tell us about this Hulk variant we can expect in the MCU.
Well, according to Cosmic Circus, the Maestro is going to be in, I believe, Doomsday.
Woo!
The smart Hulk is going to be transitioning into the Maestro Hulk. So.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, especially with his whole backstory. People don't know. Essentially, in this variation of the MCU, it's nuclear fallout, and for better or for worse, the Hulk gets more nuclear radiation, and all the horrible traits from Bruce Banner goes into the Hulk. So where he's intelligent as Bruce, but he's more evil and decides that he wants to rule over what's left of the nuclear wasteland and goes to war with that version's doom. So, which is kind of weird because from what some of the rumors say, they're gonna try and do that old rumor that was like 20-something years old. They're gonna try and get World War Hulk into that with the Maestro and all this other stuff that's going on. I'm like, I don't know how they're gonna do this if it is true.
If you're going for like a giant World War Hulk film, 2 or 3 Hulks is not World War Hulk. You need all the Hulks you can get. So,
I mean, you could do it with one really, really pissed off Hulk.
Just one really angry Hulk. Yeah, just
then it's the Hulk is the army by himself, right? And then,
the
World War is everyone against that Hulk.
Right, but this is going to be what people have been saying they want since most people hated the Incredible Hulk when it came out. Just the final battle, but with like 6 Hulks, right? That's what we're gonna get. And it's like,
but at least we have 2 Hulks or 3 technically.
Yeah, and like according to some reports, we're
4.
getting at least a tease of 2 more in Captain America 4. So
that's Betty Ross.
Yeah, like Red She-Hulk and A-Bomb, maybe.
rumors are A-Bomb will be mentioned, but also Amadeus Cho might be coming in. So
totally awesome Hulk.
He's great. I like Amadeus
right now. So
so look, I'm all in on like give us this Hulk and let's see what happens. But a part of me's like, if this isn't part of the whole multiverse saga thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you do this then? Is it after Secret Wars then? And we're just going back to, here's a Hulk film, like, here's what you get. You're like,
I mean, I think you can tie it into Secret Wars. Like, that's how our reality ends up, right? It's a way to actually devastate everything.
Actually, true, yeah.
Why Hulk's doing a thing, and then you just get to reset it afterwards,
right? I feel like almost because there's still the rumor floating around that we're getting like 2 to 3 films between, that are like Battle World. If that turns out to be true, one of them should just straight up be the World War Hulk Battle World, and that's the easiest way to explain it. You can bring in painted green Lou Ferrigno among all the CG monsters. Just be like,
Isn't Ferrigno MAGA?
I don't think so.
I thought he was.
I know Sylvester Stallone just said he was, so it's maybe Ferrigno. I don't know. It's see, there you go.
Fair, most Americans MAGA in a minute, so
I was gonna say, to be fair, you could just paint Lou Ferrigno red then, and there we go. He's Red Hulk, and you just got it,
Make Hulk great again.
The shortest Red Hulk.
Let's say, Mitch, make Hulk great again has literally been the slogan since She-Hulk dropped.
It's true.
This is, that's where we're at these days with this. So the thing I look at here with Maestro, right? Let's say you bring the character in. What then? You got all these different Hulks unleashed.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you going to do? Like, you're going to have to get rid of some of them, or Hulks are just going to be running rampant. Like, Marvel Comics typically forgets that like half the Hulks exist during events, because it's like Sentry, it's like, oh, that's just a powerful character that exists.
Someone else you have as well.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like,
especially with what they did currently with Hulk, to where he has different variances within himself. So Bruce,
maybe that's like, where they go with it.
Huh? That would be interesting.
They just internalize all the Hulks, in not all of them.
Obviously. Yeah, because you have like the regular Green Savage Hulk, Gray Hulk, which is Mr. Fix-It. I think you also have Devil Hulk, and there's like 2 other ones. So
yeah, you just turn it that way. So that every version of Hulk we've seen so far is just a different Hulk. Yeah. Like, hey, you want to see the Incredible Hulk guy again? Well, guess what? It's just a different personality of Hulk.
Yeah. He like suddenly just shrinks and gets more shredded. His hair gets a little bit more CG.
That's after the nuke goes off, right? Where he's like regenerating, like he just looks like him.
Man,
I don't know if they like tying old plot points around, so just
they do.
It'd be a cool visual as well, like having him go through like all the different Hulks.
It would, yeah.
Yeah, and then having to explain Devil Hulk for people, and it's like, how is he?
They probably won't do Devil Hulk. I'm gonna be honest,
because like
Al Ewing's too high concept for the MCU.
Yeah, because I'm like, he's technically one of the strongest ones, and he can regenerate from almost nothing.
Just a reminder: Age of Ultron was supposed to be Gray Hulk, but the test audience was too dumb to understand that was Hulk turning gray. So they had to make him green, but they didn't fully do it, so he still looks part gray in the movie.
They like washed out the green slightly.
Like, yeah.
I thought it was like because he's talking and they didn't know why he was talking.
Well, to be fair,
he talking that movie, doesn't he? I forgot.
Yeah. To be fair, the general movie audience is kind of dumb, Maybe
not.
Yeah, because it's kind of weird. Because like even with the original Hulk, he could talk still. It wasn't until later where they kind of made him like he was so angry that he couldn't enunciate correctly, and then they shifted towards Gray Hulk, and then all the other variances. Right. So,
just give us a shot like the evolution of man, but with the Hulks.
Deep fake Bill Bixby in there as well somewhere. Like give us Edward Norton, like when he's morphing. Just give us like all of them. Do you also guys think like there's that multiverse rumor that Eric Bana's Hulk could possibly join, and I'm like, that would be wild if we get Shrek Hulk. Don't update the CG. Just make him look exactly how he did in that film. So you're like, that's off, like,
I mean, the way Marvel CG's been going, you haven't got to update it. No.
Oh, that's true. He can just like bite the missile and like that reminds me of the new Captain America trailer because it does the like Hulk paneling and it caught me off guard. I was like, did Ang Lee direct this trailer? What's going on here?
That trailer went hard though. But the Thunderbolts trailer is the same thing as well. We had the little like,
yeah. We will actually talk about both of these in just a little bit. So, any closing thoughts on this whole Hulk thing outside of cool?
It's cool. I'm just trying to wrap my head around how they're actually going to do it. If it's like going to be set on during Secret Wars with Battle World, or they're going to do it after, and like how this all is going to fit with Maestro being this like on the level of evil as Doctor Doom.
See. Yeah.
So I think you leave it. So World War Hulk with Maestro is the Thanos snap to the Doomsday. That's Infinity War, right? So you leave it off like that, and then that's our battle world. That's how it ends up like that.
Yeah. That'd be kind of cool. That could work. So
like, you open Secret Wars, and there's just Maestro rolling over our little part.
Yeah. That would honestly be kind of cool. That'd be a good angle on it. So. And since it's Battle World, it doesn't affect, everything. It just affects its core.
You're going to reset everything anyway, right? So
go crazy. Yeah. So there you go, everybody. So when we hear more, obviously we'll talk about it. If there's casting, we'll hear it in the next couple months. So with that in mind,
Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, it's Maria. True.
First scoop.
And also, it's also funny because like he legitimately can't keep a secret, but
no
one ever believes him. That's just the funny part.
It's true. Well, with that out of the way, then let's jump on over to our second topic, where we're going to talk about the Penguin and the Batman Part 2. Obviously, Penguin wrapped up this past week. A stellar
something else as well.
What a series, man. There's a whole lot, and also there is build up to Batman Part 2. So for a minute, let's talk about Penguin. Has everybody here seen Penguin?
Yes.
No, I've seen the memes.
Oh man. Oh, Tristan.
You know how I feel about Batman.
Yeah, but Penguin is so good. It's so good.
Disappointed, Tristan.
You gotta watch it so you figure out why Victor owned it, okay? Come on, kid, you owned this. I love it. It's so good. Man, so we're not going to go too much into spoilers because I know some people have commented saying they're not going to watch it till like Thanksgiving break. They're saving it to watch in one go. So let's just say without spoilers, it is Oswald becoming the Penguin. That's the series. Okay. And at the end, we get the hint of what comes next. And now he's on Batman's radar. Like Batman knows Oswald has ascended the crime syndicates now, and he's going to be after him. And
I can't think. What's the sequel to Long Halloween? I can't think what it's called.
It's been so long.
They've literally like set it up to do that.
Is it No Man's Land?
I don't think.
No,
so.
I can't remember. God, yeah. It's been forever since I read even Long Halloween, so yeah, I can't recall. But the setup is all here, with Oswald. Even setting him up for possible Kingpin parallels in the MCU where there's some political intrigue now that they're pulling with Penguin. And I was like, this is a very interesting angle to take because if he becomes like politician Penguin, Gotham's going to get even worse, like it's looking good. I don't know, Mitch, what's your take on the direction of Batman Part 2? Because we've heard tons of rumors. And we know Penguin's going to be in it.
I love it. Not that I'm a big Batman fan, but
yeah,
what Reeves is doing here, and I can't remember the woman who made this show because no one's talking about her. It's like she literally developed and wrote this show. Like, how's no one?
Yeah, she's great.
She's fantastic. I just like more. I can't think how you pronounce Kristen Milotti.
Oh yeah.
She's fantastic.
Well, also the big revelation with her at the end, because
I like how it's a revelation. It's like, well, of course she's a half sister.
Yeah. Okay, so everybody suspected that. Yeah. she gets a letter at the end from Selena Kyle, Catwoman, talking about how the two of them are more or less, they're going to brew a plan up, and we don't want to spoil what happens with Sophia.
Got some good genes.
Yeah, legit though. It's that
I don't know where his went, but he's got some good genes.
It's that Mark Strong good looks. I'm telling you, man. That's it.
It wasn't Mark Strong who played him, was it?
It wasn't the Batman or Penguin, because John Turturro wouldn't return.
I see John Turturro,
yeah. So Mark Strong's the default.
I was I forgot he wouldn't come back because violence to women. It's like, my dude, you do know what you did in the Batman, right?
Yeah, it was like the same stuff. So I'm honestly very intrigued with the direction of the Batman Part 2 because like they set up so much in this show that obviously it's going to play like the MCU. If you watch it, it's going to enrich the Penguin when he's there and what's going on in Sophia. But the film also has to understand that like this show peaked at like 5-point-something million views for its highest episode. The Batman was watched by like 100 million people. So it's that Marvel Daredevil syndrome where like, you know, I was watching No Way Home in a theater and Charlie Cox Daredevil shows up and 7 people were excited out of a sold out theater because nobody else knew who he was. It was like, yeah, it's kind of going to have some of that effect, but I think it can work in their favor because they can quickly catch you up with the history and like.
Yeah, I think you just have a little like duh.
Yeah.
Yep. At the start, you just have Bruce Wayne like Bruce Wayne like going over everything that happened with like clips on the show and just do it that way.
He's just going to be on like a computer, like reading what happened while he was like, because you know, at the end of the Batman, he shot. So obviously he's missing during this show because hey, he was shot literally in like the abdomen. We see that in the film, like. So they can use that as an excuse. He's like catching up with what went on. He's like, boy, the last time I saw Oz, he was nothing, and now he's in the biggest penthouse in Gotham
with his mummy girlfriend.
Yeah, uncomfortable
or
scene.
his girlfriend, mummy, I should say.
Yeah, man.
But he owned that suit, so it's fine.
Oh, he owned it. Victor.
Oh,
man,
it's not fair.
It's so good. It's such a good show. We highly suggest you guys go watch it.
100%, yeah.
I cannot wait to get this on Blu-ray or 4K and watch it back to back with the Batman. And just, I'm going to do like one sitting in one day and just be like a vegetable on my couch. It's like, oh, that was the greatest. So,
the epic crime saga or whatever they called it. No,
yeah,
it makes sense now.
It does. It's a dumb name and a dumb acronym, but it does make sense for this. You know,
done before. Now I'm like, you know what?
It's no spunk. Let's just put it that way. It's no spunk.
You done with that Sony load.
The Sony load. You. And just with that in mind, they did tease we're going to get at least 2 more TV series are apparently in development, in active development.
Talking about a Penguin 2 as well. So. Or season 2, no.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, it has to come after Batman Part 2 then, and you can't take away everything from him in Batman Part 2 and then be like, let's just do the same story again. It's like it's got to be.
The sounds
different.
of it, he's not the main villain of Batman Part 2 anyway. So
you know what I can see. Penguin
third.
I was gonna say, well, Penguin is trying to do the whole political aspiration thing, right? Which they hint at in this, and suddenly he discovers a DA who's a little open to maybe being shady, and Gotham can't be cleaned up, so he starts becoming a little two-faced, if you get what I'm saying. You know, it's like Penguin kind of corrupts Harvey Dent. I could see that angle going. Like, he's like, hey.
I can see it. I'm just shaking my head because of the pun. No.
Right. I had to do it. Come on. Or are they going to do a new 52 and we get one face?
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah. Oh. They abandoned it after 2 issues because they realized it was a mistake.
Thank God for that.
It was literally Joker, or Joker's like, hey, check out this guy, and it's Two-Face, but he's jacked up and like 11-foot tall Hulk, and he's like, I'm now one face because I lost my second face. It was like,
what?
That was the moment where I was like, I don't think Two-Face is my favorite Batman villain anymore. That moment alone put me off for like a decade. Oh, man. So we'll see. We will see. But with that out of the way, let's get into our next topic. Captain America 4. Another 6 weeks of reshoots are upon us.
Which is wild because this is supposed to come out in February. Valentine's Day.
Mhm.
Bro, what is happening with this film?
I assume it's more just like casual pickup. I hope it's just casual.
I hope so. I mean, Giancarlo did say he's there to reshoot the rest of his stuff. It's like, so maybe they didn't get to shoot it the first 3 weeks. They did earlier this year when he was available. So now it's another 6 weeks to do it all. So it's probably not the most CG heavy stuff, I would assume.
That's my hope, and it's like as long as it's not CG stuff, it should be fine.
Yeah,
they had to reshoot the scenes with the burning ballot boxes. That's why.
Oh. that was just Red Hulk trying to vote, man. Like, don't do him like that.
Yeah,
there's so many people like that poster where he's punching the shield and there's sparks. So it's like, why is there sparks and he's punching the shield? It's like, did you not notice the fire everywhere? No.
Media literacy is dead, Mitch. We just got to accept this now.
Well, no,
here's this shot of a hand on the ground. He lifts it. It's burning stuff.
It's not even that. It's like with Cap, where you're saying, why is a regular man fighting a Red Hulk? Is he supposed to lose? And then it's like, yeah, the regular man has a vibranium suit with a shield. You know what vibranium does, right?
I'm so glad you remember the suit's vibranium because no one picks
Nobody does.
No.
Well,
but the shield can't stop it. It's like the shield does whatever the fucking
someone posted that meme in the group. Everything that they're criticizing Sam for doing in the suit with a vibranium suit, they're all like, yeah, it makes sense that Iron Man can get dropped straight on his neck and he survives. I'm like, can you just admit you just don't like Sam and you want the terrorist white guy to be Captain America for whatever reason?
Or you just forgot about all the vibranium stuff.
That too.
No,
yeah,
that, like
fair.
It's okay to forget. I do it all the time. It's like my MO.
Yeah, that's one of the things I was like, yeah, of course he can probably go toe to toe with a newly Red Hulk when he has a vibranium suit that can absorb all the kinetic energy and shoot it right back at him.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's
Sam's good. There's a reason why they gave him vibranium. If you're confused about where it happened, watch the show. Watch
That's
Falcon
true.
and Winter Soldier. It tells you right there.
I mean, it's like the amount of people, like when I went and saw Multiverse of Madness with a typical Marvel crew I go with, they were all like, so, did I like miss something? How did we get here? I was like, did you watch WandaVision? And across the board, like 10 people were like, no. And I'm like, here we go. Here we go.
Not necessarily a them problem. That's a Marvel marketing problem.
That is a Marvel marketing problem, yeah. It really is.
Problem with Penguin, so it's just a
true. It's the nature of the beast of doing TV and film, and in the same universe, and it's just how it goes. But looking at Cap 4 and looking at the new trailer specifically, which was a great trailer,
it looks a lot like the actual movie. It's like the looks of the movie looks better as well.
Yeah. And the close-ups of Hulk look great, but anything from 10 feet or further away, it has that like She-Hulk. It's like that's too clean. It's too polished. Like you can't tell. It's like they swapped in a lower model, like in a video game. The closer you get, the better models they swap in. So it's like,
it's fine.
Yeah. It's like that's what it looks like, honestly. So
it's missing the fog. That's what it is.
It's true. It's true. And I mean, they even have fog in that one scene with the Thunderbolt in the middle of the White House. It's just like smoke and fog everywhere. Enhanced that so it looks even better.
So the cigars, just like
Yeah. I don't know, like I watched the new trailer and I'm seeing these reports and I desperately need this film to be good because I can't take another Marvel bomb, like
I don't think Marvel can take a Captain America bomb, to be honest.
Yeah, that would be that would be rough, but man.
Yeah, like I'm hoping this is really good because the evolution from Falcon to Captain America is really interesting in how they do it about it. And this film seems really good, and it's even though it has the same tropes, it's still with the same themes of it, where you have Thunderbolt Ross as acting president telling Sam that he's not Steve Rogers, he's not Captain America. I need a Captain America who is basically a living weapon for me and doesn't choose who to stand up for. And that's what I like about the film so far. So hopefully it's good even with all these reshoots.
I mean, if it's not, at least the trailers are good. right? Like they know how to cut a trailer at the minute. Like they
Yeah.
just got back to that. Like no more trailers. Like it's actually this trailer slaps.
Yeah, it really does. And I mean, at the end of the day, if this film is remotely good, I will be shocked with everything we've heard, especially them like shooting the initial version, cutting out the first 40 minutes completely, reshooting that with Giancarlo and a whole new cast, then scrapping the entire back end of the movie, redoing that after all the writers and actors strike, where 3 actors now have said, yeah, we shot 2 completely different movies. It's like, and now these reshoots, I'm hoping for the best. I'll take a 7 out of 10 over, like a 4, which I'm afraid it might end up.
And it's still kind of weird because like people are saying that we don't want a superhero movie. We want something different with a different genre, which Captain America is usually with espionage and very political, which for the last like 4 projects of Captain America, it's very political. So I don't know where people are saying that, this can't be something else other than a superhero flick.
Yeah.
Cam's also not a superhero, right? Like that's everyone's big problem with him. So what do people want? Is he a superhero or is he not? What's the definition of that now?
We know what people want. What they think they want, when they get it, they don't. That seems to be like the pattern of. It's like the holding pattern that's eternal, especially for the MCU. It's.
You said the word.
Yeah.
Can't get past me.
Well, so I suppose we're gonna wrap it up on Captain America. Look, it comes out like February 14th. So
it's
a
weird
not
day.
They're pushing for that Black Panther 1 synergy.
Yeah, for what it is that they're pushing for Black History Month and for people who don't have much going on for like Valentine's Day to go see the movie and banking on that. So
yeah, I mean, also like Deadpool 1 released in February and that did tremendously well as well. So like I think February has become
well, they did market Deadpool as like the buddy romance.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That
all
one
right. So the next trailer for Captain America 4, I need Sam and Joaquin holding hands underneath like the Avengers Tower.
Yeah, I forgot
that's
about
what
Joaquin.
I need. Sell the romance
That's
between
the
Joaquin and Sam.
Tower now.
Yeah, that's true. That is Valentina's Tower.
Yeah, I forgot about Joaquin. He's supposed to be the new Falcon, right?
I love his suit. He looks good.
He's not a grotesque bird person, Zero.
Oh yeah.
Mitch, just wait till at the end of the movie we realize no. The leader has secretly like snuck serum into him and he hits the button and like he just grows into a giant eagle.
I mean, that's what I want.
And he's not going to be a falcon because eagle is synonymous with like America, so he's got to just become an eagle,
He's just going to get the eyes and go bald, and that's it.
Yeah. Just flies off.
What's more American than the bald man?
He's going to essentially pull a Vision at the end of WandaVision. White Vision just like rises into the sky, and he's like, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. You're like, where'd he go? We haven't seen him since. I don't know. That's going to be Joaquin.
Vision Quest.
Yeah.
That we announced 3 years after that show came out.
Forever ago. Exactly. So there we go, everybody. We'll be back to talk more about this relatively soon. But let's talk a little about Star Wars, because Star Wars has, for some reason, decided that the best way to make another trilogy is to take a shotgun, point it at your head, and pull it by getting Simon Kinberg, the director who's only directed one thing, which is Dark Phoenix, to work on the next trilogy. Now,
I will give Disney something here. And I'll give Kinberg something here. He wrote 2 of the best episodes of Rebels.
He did. And Rebels is my favorite Star Wars piece of content out of anything. So he did do good on Rebels, but my worry is there's a lot of guys that are good on TV. Yeah. When you give them a 2-hour format, they lose it. Damon Lindelof could not write a good movie for the life of him. You give him a TV series, that dude is on point. So, like, I am, for the first time in the last decade, I'm looking at Disney with this decision going, am I going to become a grifter? Am I about to just hate Disney Star Wars? Like, is this what's going to happen? Like, I'm not into Kinberg.
No, neither am I. I literally, I'll give him the dues for Rebels, and that's as far as I go. I'm not excited about it. Even more not excited about it after the whole like Disney's just using Star Wars as a nostalgia machine.
Yep.
And they got nothing else apart from that. It's like, cool. I'm slowly gonna just go over here.
Same. Yeah.
For me, just being a casual fan, I'd rather them move forward with the timeline instead of having like reminiscence or flashbacks to remember before the new trilogy and all the old stuff. I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but I want new stories and new characters to potentially care about, not all this.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because one of the things that sticks out to me is, like, from what we're understanding now, there's 2 standalone Rey Skywalker films in development, and then Kimberg is apparently writing the next Skywalker trilogy, which is also going to center Rey. 5 Rey films. And again, I know comments for this are going to be nobody likes her and everything. I was just at a big Comic-Con that pulls in 70,000 people on Saturday. Every single girl underneath the age of 15 that was cosplaying a Star Wars character was all Rey Skywalker. That character resonates. It might not resonate with, us males in the same way, but there's something there that resonated, and they see the sales of merchandise, what's selling, who's buying it, what demographic. They know. So I get it, but like, can we just get a Rey trilogy and then do the other films as something else that doesn't need to be Rey? And I say this as somebody who you guys have seen in videos. He's got 3 entire Rey Skywalker shelves. Like, I love that character. So it's like,
I wouldn't be against it. Is that hopefully she's written a lot better in this trilogy than the last, because that's like one of the things that a lot of people who had legitimate criticism about her is that she wasn't well written with Finn and some of the other newer characters.
I think each film had a great idea. The problem was, from film to film, each director had their own writing style and arc for her, and none of them connect. And you kind of felt that. So I'm hoping with maybe Kimberg, if he's given the ability to write 3 films, and then they hire a director for each one, maybe with these 3 films, he sees it as 7 hours total of writing a perfect 3-story arc with, that way I think could work great in her favor. But like, again, this is the weirdest decision Disney can make. And from what they said in the report, apparently they're going with Kimberg because he's the safest choice possible. It's like, oh, so that's what we're in now, huh? Safety. You could have had Rian Johnson, but nope.
I'm just thinking about safe, like the safe choice, because he only did like 2 episodes of like Rebels. So.
He did produce a lot of it as well, so he was on hand for most of the series. So he knows his way. At this point, I would rather take Filoni baiting all over these 3 films than Kimberg. So, man.
I mean, I'm fine with Rey being in like 5 different things at once. It's just don't make her. No, she doesn't need to be the focus of all 5. Like, she can be
exactly
in all 5.
Yeah, because technically, especially with the newest trilogy, is that people, especially casuals, kind of got like I guess exhausted with Skywalker in precinct where everything was involved a Skywalker, and in this instance, Rey is technically a new Skywalker, and it's going to be focused on a Skywalker instead of everyone else that's involved.
And since they're going to be nostalgia baiting, what's the bet on Emperor's son or a perfect clone is back as a villain or something again? Like,
no, man.
They'll rename the Jedi to be Skywalkers or something like that.
Which is because from what I read, like the Jedi and the Sith are more so a religion than anything, and that if you do want to train, you can just be a force sensitive person. And that intrigues me more, because you don't have to be a Jedi or a Sith. You're just a person that knows how to use the force instead.
My hopes are the first standalone Rey film is her establishing the Jedi Order, and it's reportedly about a decade to 15 years after the rise of Skywalker. Have her establishing it, and start the trilogy with literally her jump another 5 to 6 years, and she's the mentor, and we got a whole new crew that we follow, and she's just kind of in the back doing the teaching, and important to the plot. but build up a new cast of characters that she's teaching in the new Jedi Temple or wherever, like kind of do that and like have her be the shepherd teaching like the new ways, like what is the Force now, how we envision it, the new direction. And then her second standalone film, maybe she's like, okay, you guys are good on your own. I'm going to go over here and take care of something. And that's like a more personal film that doesn't interfere with the bigger plot here. Like you could do something good here, but again, it's all in the execution and everything Disney's saying now. I lose hope every time somebody at Disney opens their mouth about how they're handling everything that they set in motion years ago. So,
I mean, at the end of the day, right, I'm going to be the one to say because Ricardo's not here. I was going to say it regardless. They're not going to come out. Disney's are incapable of making a Star Wars movie.
That's true. That is true. It's actually impossible. Yeah. And also, don't forget, we still got The Mandalorian and Grogu, and then the other crossover Mandoverse film, which we all know is going to be CG deepfake Luke versus Thrawn. Like, we all know that's what it's going to be. Yeah. So it's like, but it's kind of amazing that the only film that they can get off the ground is the one based on the TV series with the little green guy. Like, that's really sad.
Because Mando's the best thing about Star Wars.
Jedi sir, Sith are boring have you watched Andor?
Unfortunately, yeah.
I mean, you essentially had Mando in a Boba Fett story, so
yeah.
You had Boba Fett take over Mando's story for a little bit.
I mean, that's what happened in Mando season 2, and then Book of Fett. It's literally the reverse, and then Mando comes in and steals his episodes back. You're like, what is this? What happened? Man,
I just hope Boba Fett's in the Mando movie.
Same. Also, I got a prediction for what they're going to do with one of the Rey films.
Is it nostalgia?
Yes, but it's going to be weird nostalgia bait because what they're going to do is wrap up Acolyte season 1 by doing a flashback story to what happened with Plagueis, just to give us a conclusion to what happened with them. So
Plagueis is the villain of the Rey trilogy, right?
Yes.
It's going to actually die, and then he's going to.
He didn't die. He was just badly hurt there, and we're going to explain how he rose to power the first time. Here's him corrupting these two characters you might have heard of that start the Night of Ren to kind of tie everything nicely, so it's not just a dead cliffhanger ending at Acolyte.
You know what? Probably the best way you can do it.
Honestly, because we're not getting season 2, unfortunately, so it is what it is.
Disney dumb.
Yeah.
It's getting to the point now where everyone's agreeing about the same things, whether it's politics or Disney or whatever.
Yeah.
But people are on two different sides.
Yep.
And you get the Jareds of the world, and they're like the last bastion of hope.
So he's holding on, but his like finger every month is just slowly slipping more and more. He's going to be holding on by his pinky soon. Just like, I'm holding hope.
He's that one Jon Snow scene in Game of Thrones.
Oh.
But like he gets decidedly ass beat.
Yeah.
He ain't walking out of that one.
Well, there we go, everybody. When we find out more about Star Wars, we'll report on it. I'll probably be there when they announce all these films as Star Wars Celebration in Japan this coming April. So
only probably. Why would you go to Japan in Celebration and not be there?
I don't know if I'm going to go to the giant panel with the sweatiest of the sweaties. I know Jared's going to convince me to go with him. I know. I know. I know Jared's going to convince me to go with him, so I might as well.
Yeah,
but
I've got a shopping list for you guys, by the way. I expect
buy Gundams.
Yeah, it's like go to this sweaty panel for Star Wars or check out Japan. Now, which one would you choose?
I would check out Japan personally.
Yeah, I'm only going 2 days of Celebration, not the entire 3, because I'm like, no, like I'm gonna. Yeah.
How long are you over there for?
Like 10 days. So
wow.
yeah, it'll be nice.
Yeah, even 2 days is too long for me. I just go for the 1 day.
You go to the big panel and fuck off again.
Right. Yeah, just a 1 day to do the thing. Yeah, that could be how it goes. So we'll see. So stay tuned, everybody, and we'll be back with more Star Wars talk. But now we got our final piece of discussion here that's related to some big Miles Morales news. So Sam Raimi and the director of some other film, Don't Something, I can't remember what it's called. Let me see. What is this? Don't
look up.
I don't know. Anyways, Sam Raimi revealed he's had multiple discussions about directing a Spider-Man Miles Morales film, the director of the other film is like, oh yeah, I've talked to Sam Raimi and we've talked with people. So
this is in the early stages of development. They've been talking. So a lot of the rumors and stuff stating that they are Marvel and Sony, for better or for worse, are looking to have Miles into the live action sequence after Peter.
Yeah.
It's okay, but I'm like really worried on how they would want to because of how Marvel and Sony have been clashing on what to do and how to do things.
Right.
It's like Marvel's all, yeah, we're working together, and then you have Sony Pictures over here saying, yeah, this is our idea, right? Right, Marvel, White Feige, we're going to be doing this with the characters. Yeah, no,
So
we're not.
I just checked, and yeah, it's the director of Don't Move, which is a film that Sam Raimi's like tangentially related to and doing stuff with. So the thing with the Miles Morales thing is this comes at us just a couple of days after Marvel Studios' Kevin Feige was being interviewed, and he was like, so Miles Morales, we're hoping to see him in the MCU after Secret Wars. And it's like, could they get Sam Raimi to do an MCU Miles Morales film? That would be pretty wild, honestly.
I'll be honest, I hate that idea.
I like Sam Raimi. Like, Sam Raimi's one of my top 5 directors of all time.
Great director. Hate that idea.
I'm not
Why
too
are we giving
much...
an old white boy?
That's,
old white
yeah.
man. He's a fully grown man.
Yeah.
This boy is a nerd. He was a nerd in like Stanley Parker.
Yeah, I feel like you need to get a Hispanic director or somebody that's gonna get it, you know? Like,
yeah, like having Sam Raimi, it's I don't want to have a rehash of the early 2000s Spider-Man with Miles and trying to fit that into the greater picture of going after the Secret Wars. So.
Also, do you guys remember what happened last time? A bunch of white people made something Miles Morales. They got the flag wrong in his apartment with Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales by Insomniac.
Instead of the Puerto Rican flag, it was the Cuban flag.
Yep. Like, you need representation in this. I know comments are gonna be like, oh, you guys are just talking about not being woke. It's like, that's the point. Like, you need it. Like, somebody that understands the culture, you know, like that's
you need important to understand like the culture and to have the balance of checks to what a character would potentially do in this certain situation, instead of having like an HR vibe feel to where everything's sanitized and safe to where you can't like say or do certain things that normal people in that situation would actually do. Yeah. So it's just that's what I hope anyway, because this is a good time coming. Because like,
is it a good time coming? Well, no, Sony's gonna have
it's for the character, because out of every Spider-Man variant, most of them don't last even 5 to 10 years.
I mean, it's true.
And Miles is the one that lasted after the things like close to 12 years, and he jumped from the comics to the video games and has a successful line of movies.
Right.
I just don't want Sony to handle his first appearance in live action.
Same.
I can't take that. I know Sony does the Spider-Verse, but that's Sony Animation. It's not studios.
Yeah.
The moment you get into the moment you get into Pascal Pictures, you should be a little worried. You know, it's
I just want Miles to be done right. I don't want him. No. Like, do I think a Sam Raimi Miles Morales movie can pop off? Yes. Do I think it would be the best thing you could ever do? No.
No. And I honestly think, like, if you're gonna have, like, let's say hypothetically, what if Sam Raimi directs the film and it's technically like it's your Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 4, and that's where Miles Morales is from that universe? They could technically kill off Peter. He's the only Spider-Man there, and then at the end of Secret Wars, he gets pulled in. You know, now he's in the MCU as a refugee, like in the Ultimate Comics. I think that could be a good angle on it.
Yeah. And just like that, I mean, you heard a bunch of millions of Tobey fans screaming out in horror that you just ended their favorite character.
Yeah, I mean, but the self-sacrifice would be like, what a better way for a character to go out, you know? It's
but like the end result is, why did you have to do that to my Spider-Man?
Yeah, as always, as always.
Doesn't even have to be the Raimi one. Just do a Raimi version, but a different one.
Right? Yeah, just a variant of Raimi's. Yeah. Just Tobey Maguire plays him. I mean, that could
And
be
that way you
interesting.
can have Tobey Maguire do the whole Sinister Six scene from the Ultimates, from the 1610, and do it.
Yeah.
I just
See,
want that. That's got to be the opening of the movie. If you do it, that has to be the opening.
Honestly, I kind of agree with that. You know, it'll be interesting to see how they actually try to balance this and handle it, because the potential for a Miles Morales movie is all there.
Huge.
Like and again, like this Halloween, I was like, I'm gonna do another count of all the kids that walk up to my house to get candy. What Spider-Man are they?
We just sit there one as like clicker counters, like
pretty much, yeah. I like in my head, I was like 1, 2. So I'm like, I counted more than a dozen kids, all under the age of 15. Every single one was Miles Morales. Not a single one was Peter Parker. No, we're talking like this is their Spider-Man.
Propelling the Great Replacement theory.
He's
Peter is going.
Hold on, let me bring up the Alex Jones song. Hold up.
And then even like where people are saying, well, what could they do with him? He's like, they're just gonna rehash potential Peter villains, and then it's like, well, have you been reading his recent run, which is his best run so far, with Cody Ziegler, who does write for Marvel Studios, and he's writing Miles's book currently, and he's been trying to fill out his rogues gallery, which is pretty good. You want someone who's like really like just street crime. You got the Bumbler, which is actually pretty funny. He's a pretty funny and endearing villain. That's a
Stan Lee name if I've ever heard.
Yeah, it is.
He's a funny like a B themed villain. Then you got like Crossfaro, and one of the major ones is Rabble, which is his version of the Green Goblin, which she has her own vendetta, which is not very sane at all, which she blames him for everything. So.
Exactly. And you also have the obvious choice for the main villain along with one of the other ones, and that's literally the Prowler. When he finds out Uncle Aaron is like this big villain, like the story and heartbeats there, just like the Miles Morales video game, would be tremendous. Like, I really hope that what they do with this film is take their time, don't rush it, just do it right, and give us the Miles we deserve. Because if the movie comes out and it's under a 60 on Rotten Tomatoes, that thing is not going to make the money you need to justify a sequel, and you've kneecapped Miles Morales for the rest of eternity. Because
I don't know.
I think I could see the argument being, it's because he's a black Spider-Man. That's why it didn't work.
I mean, you got that with any character in movies at the minute, right?
It literally happened with Insomniac's video game. They're like, the game sold less. It's because nobody wants a black Spider-Man. I'm like, it's because it's a spin-off game, smaller scale, and it launched on PS5.
He also didn't like announce it or market it that well.
Yeah, that was terrible marketing. Yeah. So, I don't know. Like, we're excited.
Because I am. The only thing missing now is an animated series. This is what people would.
Yeah.
Especially,
I think the problem with that is people expect the Spider-Verse style animation, and that was going to cost a lot.
And God knows we don't want friendly neighborhood Spider-Man animation, because that looks bad. Holy crap.
And then like even with them, people are like, well, what run would you go? And it's like, well, you can either go like a fusion of early Bendis with current Cody Ziegler run, which would be the best option, because you have a mixture of some old stuff from 1610 Marvel with what Cody has going on in the 616, where there's a bunch of new villains and new characters that Miles interacts with, and you get a little fusion of what Miles was before and currently, where he is a little tech savvy, but he's more artistically inclined with how the movie portrays him.
Yeah, I know.
I want a Miles movie that's just all Bendis speak.
You don't want that.
Mitch,
you don't want that.
Don't wish that into existence.
I'm not even joking. I genuinely want that.
Why are you wishing curses into the world?
I miss Bendis speak. Especially Miles Bendis speak.
Where he's just talking most of the issue.
I can't do it.
There's that one panel of, I think it was Miles and his dad sitting on like a park bench.
Yeah.
And this is like so much better.
Yeah, it's like a novel.
The only reason I remember it is because they sit on the park bench and you see, I think it's Iceman and the Human Torch fly by.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yep. Yeah, just like cameo.
Like issue 2 or 3. It was one of the real early.
Yeah.
It really was.
Sitting at the bench, and like you said, it's just a long thing of text you have to read.
Like they're just at the bottom, and the whole page is white, and then you got the text going down both sides.
And that's what Venice Speak is that
one of the best Miles scenes.
That was very early on too, wasn't it?
Like,
it was like issue 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Wow. It's just really weird Venice Speak to where it has to have action, but it's like 1 or 2 pages, and then it's just them talking for the most part. So
the man likes to write dialogue. What can we say? You know.
He's good at it as well.
He is. So there we go, everybody. That's it for a little bit of a Miles Morales Spider-Man movie talk, which has brought us to the end of the show. Before we wrap it up, of course, as always,
we're not
check
talking
out
Thunderbolts
all of our link trees. We did not. We should just do that as a members topic. We should add that in, actually.
Wow, you're doing the best Marvel trailer that day.
There we go. Bonus members topic. You guys are going to get a Thunderbolts discussion because I didn't add it in for whatever reason.
Wow.
He don't like the Thunderbolts.
It's got too many women. That's what it is.
Whoa. Let's not put me down that. Oh, come on.
You already said you're going to become a grifter because Star Wars. Let's be honest.
Woke. Whammon. There we go. Did I do it right? Man. Yeah. So that is, as I mentioned, the end of the show. So we got 3 bonus topics for you guys now. There you go. Got the Thunderbolts talk that we're going to add in there because I want to talk about my boy John U.S. Agent Walker. That's it. Going to talk about him. And we're just going to talk about all that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the main show, and we will, as always, catch you next week. Where remember, double episodes, and one is going to be a huge Q&A. So any questions in this episode and ones I might have got in the other episode, feel free to list them down below, and we'll pick and choose, and we'll see what happens. So have a good one, everybody, and just take care.